You're watching GEEKCASTER. Yeah, that's right. Everything sci-fi fantasy, all that geek stuff, geek culture. I'm Phil Geeks, and today we have in the studio the one, the only, the muscle, Dayveonne, Bussey. And then, of course, we have the brains, the strange, the one and only, Corey Davis. And we have a special guest, a very, very special guest, Demetrius, Angelo. He is the founder and the CEO of Urban Action Showcase and Expo. Thank you, Demetrius, for joining us today. Really appreciate it there, yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you. So GEEKCASTER, from day one of the Urban Action Showcase and Expo, we've been there. In fact, we were like technically the first people there. I remember the very first day. And there were people there, and they're hanging out with the stars, and it's a great showcase. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into all that. You guys really need to have this experience. It's different. It's different from other, like, expos and, you know, cons and all that. It has a totally different vibe, and definitely check it out. But, Demetrius, I know you have a lot going on. A lot of innovation, which we love tech. We love how you're really taking things forward. But I want to talk a little bit about you. Is that all right?
That's all right.
All right. Because I don't think a lot of people know a lot of things about you. Besides, you know, the expo and stuff. You feel comfortable with that? Do you think you can?
I'm comfortable, man. I'm comfortable.
All right. So, and Dayveonne, you can jump in because I know you know Demetrius a long time. Angelo a long time. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, you're a kung fu artist, martial artist. Is that yes. Correct?
That is correct.
How many styles do you practice?
Well, depends on how you look at it. If you think that a style is based on the name, then it's like over 9. But when you talk about martial arts, there's the kung fu, there's the karate, there's the jiu-jitsu, there's the judo, there's the aikido, there's the lagamite or the arnis, the kali, there's the bando, there's there's different styles. But I practiced several styles of different ones. For instance, I started in something called the Asian American Combat System. Actually, that's a lie. Started in 1975 with Tang Soo Do, Jun Ri, Tang Soo Do. That's what I actually started with in 1975. Then in 79, I went into something called Asian American Combat System. So that was Okinawan Shunryu Kobashi Karate. That was American Freestyle Karate. That was Chinese boxing. That was small circle jiu-jitsu. That was Largo de Mano, Filipino stick fighting. And that was Kabuto, which is Okinawan Japanese weapons. Then in 90, I started traditional Wing Chun. And then I also started something called Jukido Jiu-Jitsu and Arnis Jiu-Jitsu. And that was a combination of jiu-jitsu, judo, and Filipino stick fighting under the Grandmaster Professor V.
Now, wait a minute. Do you have time to eat or sleep?
Not much time, man. Not much time, but, you know, it is what it is. But,
come on, man. For all you kids out here, I hope you're inspired because it takes discipline. I mean, he's just rattling these things off, which I don't even know what half of it is, but the amount of dedication and time. And Dayveonne, Bussey, I know that you're into martial arts as well and stuff like that. So can you attest to the amount of time and effort for all these styles that he just talked about?
Yes, it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of training, and there's a lot of focus when it comes to those styles and time consuming.
And the thing is, like, you're also an actor. You're an actor as well. In fact, when we first met you at one of the large cons in New York City, don't have to plug it, you know, and no, paying the bills, you're paying the electricity, you know what I'm saying? So you know, like you were like, I saw you like with movies and like, hey, here, check out my film. I think it's the first thing you said to me. Like, hey, man, you need to check this out. That's the first thing he said to me, man. Hey, man, check this out. And you're like acting, and you have these beautiful models and all this other stuff, but you're not only acting. You're writing the stories, and you're teaching the combat. What is it called? What's that thing?
Screen fighting.
What's it called?
Screen fighting.
The screen fighting, and man, how'd you get into that? I mean, because like one, you love martial arts, and for all you out there, if you looked up, it's called the military arts. It comes from, history, whatever. And then how'd you get into like film and stuff?
Back and honestly, obviously, inspired by the whole, ninja craze, and then of course, The Last Dragon, 1985, Motown meets martial arts. I was fortunate to see and to be inspired by film in the beginning, right? So my story began jumping on the bed. That's what we did in my day. That was what you did. You jumped on the bed, and if you was jumping on the big bed, that's your father's bed. I mean, the king size bed. But Bruce Lee came on TV, and I'm jumping on the bed, and it's like, oh, I want to do that. Because I was playing football at the time, Little League football, because that was the thing back then. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. So that's when he took me down to the rec center to learn the Tang Soo Do. Just figured they was punching and kicking, that was close enough. But,
I hear that.
I learned since then that wasn't the deal. But I was inspired by film. But when Cannon Films was doing all the ninja movies, Steve James, y'all remember back in the day, Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, all these great
American Ninja, come on now, bring it.
Yeah,
bring it.
Man, American Ninja.
Act like you know something, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sidekicks,
sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
So, that I wanted to be a ninja,
Yeah.
So, but when I saw The Last Dragon, I said, oh, shoot, then I can definitely do it now.
I hear
so,
that.
I aspired to do that, but I took the modeling route. Believe it or not, I was big romance model back in the 90s because I had long hair. So I was like the Black Fabio. I had 9 book covers. And I did whatever it took to try to get in, but I found out that Hollywood just wants to do what Hollywood wants to do. So I started doing those B movies. The digital revolution started back then in the 90s. So I started doing the B movies. And then I was like, you know what? I can do this on my own. So I hooked up with my film partner, actually with my dojo brother, when I got off tour, because I was bodyguarding at one time. And when I got off tour, I was like, dude, I'm starting this company. He had already did his first movie called Throwdown, and up in Mount Vernon. So I was like, I was doing actually a fitness show. I had my own fitness show. Actually, it was a Christian fitness show called Faithful Fitness. And I hooked up with them, and we just said, okay, we wanted to do these films. But the problem was we couldn't find anybody that knew martial arts or screen fighting that was an actor. So I started something called Action Scene Combat, which was a way to teach actors how to fight for film and television in 6 to 8 weeks, specifically. So it's like how to be a puzzle piece, because you're not teaching them martial arts because, the whole intuitiveness and reaction is not there. You're just a piece of the puzzle. It's just like having dialogue. When it's time to speak. There's no difference, right? So we started doing that, and then I created something called the New York City Action Actors Academy for more people to learn, how to fight for film and television, because I saw that void. When I saw you in 2009 at that big con in New York City that we discussed, that was my first year when we were across from each other. That was my first year. And I'd heard about it. I forgot how I heard. I don't know if they contacted me or what happened. But I went in there to just, promote my films and what we were doing different. We were breaking stereotypes. Women weren't damsels in distress. They were saving the day. They weren't prostitutes. They weren't, helpless. So we were changing the narrative.
And they weren't bad to look at either, I'm just saying.
No, they weren't.
I just want to throw that out there. Like, it is what it is. Something. Oh.
Yeah, but that inspiration came from the 70s. Pam Grier, Tamara Dobbs. Come on now. Get Christy Love. Come on, Foxy Brown. Come on now. Cleopatra Jones. You know what I'm saying? So that's where all that inspiration came from.
Okay.
So
not what's it called? The gold, not what's the one? Not Charlie's Angels. No, that's a.
what about them? Charlie's Angels. I like Charlie's Angels. You're talking about the old school. Well, I saw Charlie's Angels, but Charlie's Angels in that sense didn't resonate with me, because they didn't look like me. But I liked them. I'm not against them. They were cool, but they weren't on the big screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Because
true. That's a big thing.
I grew up at a time when your parents took you to the movie. When no babysitter, they took
I
you
hear that.
behind to the movies. You had to be quiet and watch.
Now,
Whatever was up.
now, before we even go any further with this interview, I got to ask you one question. And based on this, we're going to be cool. And you answer wrong. Party done. This interview's done, sir. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Kung Fu Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch Kung Fu Theater?
Come on now. We said 42nd Street. Come on, Sean.
All right now. We cool now.
You
We're
talking
good.
about what you really talking about? You much younger than me. You talking about Saturday afternoon Kung Fu Theater Channel 5?
Yeah.
You talking about Drive-In Theater Channel 5? I'm talking about actually going there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the difference between me and you.
You're my hero.
Yeah. Because as
You're
kids,
my
we
hero.
basically watch Channel 5.
Yes, Channel 5.
You know what's scary? Kids today don't even know there's a Channel 5.
Yeah, because kids today don't watch linear television. They watch YouTube. I know. I have kids.
No.
They watch YouTube or on demand. Whatever's on demand, they watch. So, of course, he watches my HBO Max. He watches my Disney Plus. He'll watch my Netflix. Who's that other person?
I don't know. I
That
just saw
brother that jumped up there?
That's my sound guy.
Oh, that's your sound guy.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
my sound guy. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, yes, sir. That the Shaw brothers and the Kung Fu films were the first representation of non-white heroes on the screen in the 70s. That's what got infused into hip hop and breakdance and all of that. Just the training, you know what I'm saying? The styles, the training. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very, there's a lot of symmetry there. You know what I mean? That's why you got groups like Wu-Tang and this, that, and the other.
Wait a minute now.
I have
Come
a
on
question.
now. Come on now.
Wu-Tang.
This is one of the most educated shows ever, by the way.
Seriously.
Yeah, because let's go back. Furious
Yes, sir.
5, Grandmaster Flash.
Thank you. Say that again. Grandmaster Flash. Where the Grandmasters come from? The
Yep.
Kung Fu films.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and the what? Furious 5.
That's
you got
right.
Fist of Fury. And who do you have? The 5 what?
Deadly
Venom.
Venoms.
Come on now.
Yep.
And then you had what? 5 Fingers of
Death.
Death.
Come on now.
Yeah.
It's there.
By the way,
Yes,
one of my
sir.
favorite films ever is 5 Deadly Venoms. Why does 5 Deadly Venoms have so many names of the same movie? Does anybody know?
Well, yeah, that has to do with obviously distributors and different markets and so forth. But for the most part, it's 5 Deadly Venoms. I think you might be talking about part 2 because the 5 Venoms done several films as a group, but they're not all. It's not all 5 Deadly Venoms. They're just known as the Venom Mob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to call
And
this
by the
episode,
way-
by yeah.
By the way, we had Lou Fang, the Centipede baby at Urban Action Showcase
did.
2017.
Yeah,
Were
right.
you in the house?
Oh, also you had the it's great. I mean, if you're into it, if you're into martial arts films, you'll really love the fact that you actually had someone come in and make all the masks from that film.
I sure did. He did a
Yeah.
great job.
That was amazing.
Excellent work he did. He
Did
sure
you know?
did.
Did you know there's a restaurant in Brooklyn called Toad Style?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a vegan spot, and it's definitely owed to that one character in there.
Yes, sir. That's
yeah,
low.
check that
That's low Mung.
Yeah.
The Toad. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. In fact, we just finished doing some good friends of mine, Seafood Robert Samuels, just finished directing Made in Chinatown with what's his name from The Sopranos, Uh,
Ah,
Tony, we had Tony, what you call him, and we had the other one from The Sopranos.
I know who
Uh,
you're talking about, and
yeah,
it's
Big Pussy from The Sopranos. Um, you can look it up, and get his real name. But yeah, he's in that. Lomang is in that. So that's, I think, the first American film that he's been in, multicultural film he's been in ever. Because the only brothers that been able to go to Hong Kong and do some work was, of course, Ron Van Cleef first, who started it off. Second was Carl Scott. Third was it's between Robert Samuels and um, Michael, what's Mike's last name? I gotta remember his last name, but he's been to Urban Action as well. But yeah, that's it. It's not easy to break into that market. Um, so
So
yeah.
what? I want to do this, and if once we go through, because we do a 30-minute show for cable time and stuff. So I definitely want to, like, since we're keep mentioning it, tell people what Urban Action Showcase Expo, and if we have more time or whatever like that, maybe we can do a part 2, because there's so many questions, so many things I want to get into for as far as representation and influences and stuff like that. So tell the audience a little bit about Urban Action Showcase. What is Urban Action Showcase Expo?
The Urban Action Showcase and Expo celebrates diversity and the multicultural achievements, specifically in the blockbuster action genre. We have several aspects to the Urban Action Showcase. We have the Urban Action Showcase International Action Film Festival, featuring the Warner Media Action Short Film Competition. It started out with the Cinemax Short Film Competition, but when we got purchased from AT&T, we got rebranded as Warner Media. So now it's the Warner Media Action Short Film Competition. We also have the Urban Action Showcase Awards, the International Film Festival Awards, but we also have the we call it the we got Behind the Action Awards, where we celebrate the stunt performers. We have, what else? We have the Urban Action, of course, Expo, right? And then what else do we do? We have something called Call to Action, which is an opportunity for martial artists to be seen by directors, stunt coordinators, and people in the industry, and get the opportunity to be in films or television. For instance, in 2015, we had James Luke, which was the stunt coordinator from Luke Cage. So we got a good 10, 15 people into Luke Cage just from that call to action at Urban Action Showcase in 2015. So yeah.
I have a question. So pretty much, when y'all start doing awards for stunt coordinators, do you think you kind of benefited in basically putting them in the Oscars with the process? Because I know you were the first to actually do stunt coordinator awards.
Well, no, I'm not the first. Something called the Taurus Awards.
Yeah.
It's very famous. And then there's another one. There's a women's stunt awards that's famous. I don't know if they're older than me now, but the Taurus Awards is definitely key. And then another award show came up specifically for women later on after us. But we are the first film festival, in a sense, to actually, that's a lie. I don't know. Well, that might be true, because even what's the one? There's another action on film. I don't know if if they were doing stunts back then. I know they do it now, because Michael De Pasquale does it with them, and as well as what's his name, Dr. Robert Goldman. They do something with stunts with them now, but that's still after me. So I might be the first film festival specifically focusing on people of color. That's for sure. I'm definitely the first action film festival that is dedicated to people of color specifically. Okay. So that's true. But yeah, we definitely honor the stunt performers, but we also honor the past, present, and future multicultural achievements in the genre. So we honor people like Fred the Hammer Williamson and so forth. In fact, I guess you said the show ends in 30 minutes, so maybe in the next show I can show you. Because of COVID, we had to go virtual, and we've actually went VR. So I actually have a virtual Hall of Honors for all of the 9 years of Urban Action Showcase that you can actually go through using your Oculus glasses, or you can go through with your computer virtually.
Let's see some of that. Let's go for it.
Can we try it?
Yeah, let's go for it. And also, how do I get in one of your films, mister?
One of my films?
Yeah. You don't have anybody, diversity. What about me?
We do need you. We need you. I can tell. We need you. Yeah. Okay, let me go now.
Oh, wow.
Right now, this is called the Dragon's Den. But let me take you to the Hall of Honors, like I promised.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we actually went full VR. So we do fan experiences. We do virtual comics. But okay, can you guys all see this?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Sure can.
Now look at here. This is 9 years. 9 years, guys, of Urban Action Showcase. I'm going to just start here in 2013. As you can see, our first honorees were Fred the Hammer Williamson and Ron Van Cleef, the Black Dragon, for the Urban Fist of Legends Legacy Award. And then for the Decade Award, we had Michael Jai White and Kelly Hugh. And then, of course, for the Cult Classic Cinema honoree, we have, of course, Tamak from The Last Dragon. And then if we go here and go behind the wall, yes, this is real. This is fully 3D functional. This is not a panoramic picture. As you can see, I can fully maneuver in here. But you see some of the great people that were there. That right here is Isaac Florentine, the director of Power Rangers, the director of Ninja, and Ninja 2 was Scott Adkins. Was Shoka Kazuki's son? I can forget his name. But anyway, you see the hammer, and this is the young lady from Ninja with Scott Adkins. Of course, Warrington Hudlin. You guys know him from the producer of House Party, Boomerang. You've got so many people. We got Ben Ramsey right here, which was the filmmaker who did Blood and Bone with Michael Jai White. Good brother that passed away, from Robert Garrett. And of course we got from Women in Comic, we got Regine Sawyer. So we started off really good by the grace of God. Vincent Lin, who fought Jackie Chan, Operation Condor. Man, of course we got a lot of people here that were down with us. You get to see a lot of what was going on here, some of the interviews. Some of it, this was an iconic panel. If you look at this panel, man, of people, iconic. And yes, we were at HBO. I've been fortunate to be at HBO for 22 years, and I was able to pitch this back in 2012. So we have been having it at HBO since then until we got bought out. But I'm not going to take you all the way through, but there's like I said, there is 9 years of honorees here. You can go over here to 2014, right, and see what's going on. Keep going down 2015, spin around, come all the way to 2016, and you make sure when you come here, you go to the back and to the front. The way you get there is go to urbanactionshowcase.com and click virtual Expo, and then you just fill out your info, and then you can come inside the different halls that we have. But we've just been fortunate to be able to honor so many people. Here goes Lu Feng, like I told you guys, 2017 for 5 Deadly Venoms. You can see, you can move this around, you control the space. But you see here, he did the Martial Arts Cult Classic Cinema honoree. So this is just one of the spaces. But like I said, next time you guys let me come through, I'll show you our expo hall, I'll show you our fan experiences, I'll show you our comics, and then you control the sound. I'm muting it. But there's a lot that we're doing virtually that you guys would really be impressed with. Like I said, we have our own Javits Center, our own expo center virtually. We also have, like I said, fan experience rooms. We got all the dragons that we're doing, Michael Jai White, of course, Ron Van Cleef, Tamak, Cynthia Rothrock, Don the Dragon Wilson. And then we just finished doing Mortal Kombat as well. But if you guys invite me back another time, I will definitely show you the rest.
This is amazing.
Yes.
Speechless.
Yeah. That's amazing.
If you think that's cool, let's do another show, and I'm gonna show you some stuff that's gonna blow your mind. Because once again, you can actually walk inside of here with your Oculus glasses or your HTC glasses, your PC hardware for virtual VR hardware, and really experience it that way as well.
How many people can you have in that room at one time, or is it just?
No, I'm glad. Good question. The way I have it is a single user experience, so I can get unlimited people there, but I can actually get 100 people at one time in one experience if I needed to. But I do have a whole nother experience that I do that's 3D, not VR, but it's 3D. I get 10,000 people. That's another level. I can show you guys, like I said, if we do another show, I'll show you, because it's a whole nother level of virtual reality. Nobody's seen it. Unless you follow me, of course, on my page, Urban Action Showcase page, you'll see some of it, because I've once a month I've been featuring all our exhibitors once a month, so you can see what's going on. We're getting ready for June jump off, starting June 4th through 6th, Back to Black Action. June 18th to 20th, the Kung Fu Mac Attack, which is the martial arts action cinema megathon. So we're doing more virtual events. COVID, made us pivot, and that's what I did. I pivoted. I don't think I'm coming back in the flesh in November, because, this is all still experimental. We really don't know what's going on, and it takes a lot of people to run Urban Action. And I don't want to put nobody in danger and have to be accountable for somebody getting sick, or their parents or grandparents being sick. I don't want to have that guilt right now. So I think I'm going to wait one more year before I actually go back in the flesh for Urban Action, in the physical realm. But I'm telling you, the virtual is crazy. Last year we had 95,000 people. We had everybody from the CW. We had the new Black Batwoman, Javicia Leslie. We had from Doom Patrol, we had Javon Wade, who plays Cyborg. We had from Supergirl, we had Martian Man, David, I gotta remember his last name. And then from Harewood, David Harewood, the Martian Manhunter. And then from the new Stargirl series, we had Dr. Midnight, which was Angelica Washington.
And now, hold on right there. So we gotta, this is gonna be part 1, and we're just gonna keep going with part 2, because this is amazing. Now, if you're on Twitch right now, we're just gonna let this rock.
Okay.
But if you're on cable or YouTube, this is part 1 and part 2. All right now. All right.
Yeah, so, let's rock, man.
Because this is amazing. This is the future. And by the way, so you don't want to feel guilty this year, but you don't mind feel guilty next year.
Well, I feel like at least we've had a year to see. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I keep it real 7-7 here. Listen, everybody right now is a guinea pig. If you're taking those vaccines, they really don't know what's going on. It's not even a vaccine. It's basically an operating system. It's working on the RDA. It's not even a vaccine, right? So right now they're doing experimental things. They're seeing how it's going to affect people. And everybody that's doing it now is basically part of this experiment. So you still got to watch and see. And at this point, it's all about the money. They don't care really about the numbers no more. Right. If you heard your mayor.
And it's good for a convention, a film festival, just being a CEO, you're like, I'm not trying to hurry up and push. I know you guys love this and you want this, but you're like, it's not about the money. You want people to live, and it's really appreciated. All right, guys, this is like part 1. And like I said, if you're on Twitch, hold on, just wait. If you're on YouTube or watching on cable, there's going to be part 1, part 2.